Hey, it's Marie Forleo, and you are watching MarieTV, the place to be to create a business and life you love. And this is the MarieTV Call-In Show. Bam! I'm here with Gregory Patterson.
Salutations.
Yes! And we are going to take your questions and do our very best to give you, hopefully, some good answers. Let's do this.
I like that intro.
Hello, this is Jackie. Can I help you? Hello.
Hi! Oh, we don't know what was going on there. It was a minute of like, hello, 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 hello. Hi, Jackie. You're on MarieTV. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm about to pee in my pants right now.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, actually, if you really want to do that, go ahead and do that. You can do whatever you want.
I'm at an age where that could happen anytime. So let's just do this.
Jackie, you are here with myself, with Gregory, the rest of the MarieTV crew, and we are here to offer any insight and guidance. So tell us your question, and then we'll dive in.
Okay, here's my cue. It actually is a little bit of a story, and it kind of starts a little Debbie Downer. So 7 years ago, my mom passed away very unexpectedly.
So sorry.
So thank you. I took that as a huge, huge wake-up call that I needed to live a more purposeful life and really go after my dream, which was to be a portrait photographer and really just to put all of my creativity out in the world that I could. So I, within the week, quit my job and decided to start my portrait photography business. At the same time, a colleague of mine was starting her consulting business, a communication consulting business, and she said, hey, you're probably going to have some free time and you might need some cash to get your business going. Why don't you consult with me and, I'll throw you some work and that you can make some money along the way and you can grow your photography business. And I said, great, let's do this. So 7 years later, fast forward, her business is going gangbusters and I'm doing like 90% consulting, maybe 10% working on my photography business. And I feel like, I love a good recess metaphor. I feel like I'm on the jungle gym on the playground and I'm holding onto one bar. I got one hand on the consulting job and one hand on the photography job, and I can't let go of either, but my little arms are just getting so tired. I feel like I either need someone to smack a hand and say, let go of the consulting work and you need to go do your thing, because I feel like I'm running out of time to do my thing.
Yeah.
Or just, you know what? Maybe the dream isn't for you. Maybe you just need to stick with your consulting work.
Well, so you're looking for a little bit of guidance in which hand to let go of. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, which hand to let go of. And, I've listened to your podcast and I've read so many books that you guys have recommended.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm just not getting the kick in the pants I need to make something happen.
Absolutely. Well, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you, but before we go there, I do want you to write this down. If you Google my name and then Google decision making, 4 simple tests to help you make the right decision every time, we have a great episode that you may or may not have seen, but I think if you have seen it, it's worth it to rewatch and re-listen, because I run through 4 tests that help you really make great decisions. And they're very holistic tests. So they tap into different aspects of you, both your body wisdom, intellectual, psychological, all these different things. And I want to make sure that you have those tools, even in addition to this conversation. So,
awesome.
Question for you. Mm-hmm. Now, you said the dream about starting your own photography business, and I can see that you have a website, and I click through to your website, and you've definitely taken some portraits and some photographs, and they're absolutely beautiful. Do you feel like your dream is to take photographs of women, or is your dream to run a photography business that's profitable and have that be full-time?
My dream is to run a profitable photography business.
Okay.
And my ultimate, give every bit of my creativity and make money.
Cool. Okay. So then it sounds like you're clear on what you want, but the challenge is around giving up not only the financial security, but going towards the business, not knowing if that's going to work and all the things that come with it. Is that right?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, It's a big move. I don't know what your finances are, but of course, I would recommend this to anyone, that you've got to really take a strong look at your finances. You may be able to, and I don't know what your friend's arrangement is or what your relationship is like, but if at all possible, I would investigate, rather than doing 90% consulting and 10% photography, is it possible for you to change those dials a little bit? So you actually move down from 90% consulting to, let's not say 0, right? But maybe about 50%. If you have to still build up a little bit of a nest egg, and from a financial perspective, you're a little scared, that could be an option to consider. Now, again, Jackie, I don't know if you're the type of person who's like, look, the only way I'm going to make something work is if I burn the bridges behind me. Like, I need that pressure. I need all of that momentum to move forward. And some people are like that. That's not me, but that might be you. Is that you?
No, I'm definitely not. Well, I don't think I would have taken her opportunity if I was a burn the bridges kind of gal.
Yes.
I'm a people pleaser kind of gal. And so if there's hey, I need your help. We've got this opportunity coming up. I need some people to jump on this project. I don't say no. I say, okay. And then I'm up over my neck again with more consulting work.
Mm-hmm. So this isn't necessarily a business problem. This is a boundaries problem.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's completely possible, I know in my heart and soul, for you to run a profitable photography business, right? Any business, we don't have a crystal ball whether or not it's going to work. I would tell you, I don't think you're a B schooler. Are you, Jackie?
Not yet.
No, you definitely should be. Again, whether you learn it from me or you learn it from someone else, anyone who runs a small business, you have got to learn the ins and outs, the depth of marketing, so that you can apply it in a way that makes whatever your gift is, your product or your service, as profitable as it can be and as impactful as it can be. So again, I would say if you are going to let go of that handlebar of the consulting gig, make sure you get your butt in B school. The next time we run it is February of 2019. So make sure you get in there. But apart from that, here's the deal. Boundaries are going to be huge for you, because even if you solve this issue with your friend in the consulting gig, boundaries are going to come up with your photography clients. So this is about personal growth. You can have everything you want, my friend, and you can have it in a way that's really joyful. You can retain that relationship. And I really think that you could probably start dialing down that percentage from 90% to 70 to 50 to 60 to 40. You've just got to set some clear boundaries for yourself and communicate them effectively.
Got it. Got it. Yep. The communicator is always the worst at communicating her own things to her people.
Yeah. I mean, again, all of us, we all need support with this. So you can talk with, do you have friends that you can talk with that are other business owners?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, great. So you can practice this conversation. And again, I think this is completely possible for you, but I think it would be a mistake, quite frankly, to let go of the consulting gig 100%, because given who you say you are and how you feel around finances, having that bit of security coming in is really going to support you as you ratchet up your marketing and the rest of your business.
Yep. And that's what I've been doing for 7 years. I've got processes in place. I've got, great gear. I mean, I am very grateful for the consulting business, because it's allowed me to put all the pieces in place to get my portrait photography business going. Now it just needs to start amplifying.
Yeah, but it's going to take time and focus, and you have to be the one to create that time. You're not going to find the time, my friend. You have to make the time.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. It's not going to magically just fall in your lap like, woo, Jackie, here you go. 3 days a week to just work on your business. Not going to happen. What's your friend's name who runs the consulting business? What's her first name?
Her first name is Janie, and she's awesome.
Yeah, and you could tell her, oh my God, girl, I love you. I want to create this plan together so that it doesn't disrupt this explosive growth that's happening for you right now. My heart tells me she's amazing. And if you guys sat down, that you could crack a plan that would work for both of you. And you can even ask her for the support and say, hey, look, girl, I know there might come some big job down the pike and you're going to be one, oh my gosh, Jackie, can you jump in on this one? I'm going to ask you, first of all, not to ask me for that unless things are really on fire and literally the whole business is going to go out of business unless I jump in. And 2, hold me accountable to not coming in on these days where I said I'm not going to come in. So you can actually enroll her in supporting you in moving into your own business. And based on what you've said about her and the feelings I get, she's going to want to do it.
Yeah, she asks me every once in a while, when are you gonna do your thing? I know I love you here. I don't want you to go, but I don't want you to not do what you want to do too.
See
so
that?
She supports me.
Yeah, you've got everything you need. I think you just have to muster up that courage inside and start taking those steps. And look, like I said, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So don't have that analogy in your head that you have to let go of the consulting bar completely. You just have to let go of like 2 fingers.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
Start small. You'll get there. Keep us posted and get your butt in B school. Seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
All
yes,
right, love.
Ma'am.
Thank you so much for calling in and keep us posted on how it all goes.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, Marie. I am Marines, and I'm calling from Norway.
Yay, Marines! We're so excited to have you on the show. You're here with myself and all of Team Forleo. Tell us your question, and we will do our very best to help you out.
Thank you so much. So my question is, I moved to Norway last year because my husband is Norwegian. Before coming here, my life was pretty nice. I was working in something that I really liked, and I was engaged in projects that were very interesting. And I never anticipated that it was going to be so difficult to move to Norway. I have really struggled to find relevant work, and I have been doing my homework. I've been studying Norwegian, and I'm really trying to look for work, but it's been very difficult. So my question is, how do I deal with frustration? Because I'm becoming very negative and very sad during this process, and I've never been like this. So I would love your advice.
Absolutely. And by the way, thank you so much for calling in today, because I know that there are many of us out there that find ourselves in challenging situations. And while the details of the story may not be exactly the same, I think many of us can identify with that place of feeling stuck, of feeling like we're not showing up like we normally do, and it feels like we don't know where to go. So thank you for being brave. Question for you. Where did you live prior to Norway?
Vanuatu.
Where's that?
It's an island in the Pacific.
Okay. So big change in terms of climate, in terms of culture, in terms of even the surroundings. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Has that been challenging for you in terms of climate and the weather and all of those things?
Yeah. It has. Everything has been. Everything is different. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So few thoughts off the top of my head. One, I think part of the difficulty that you're navigating right now is you have so much change layered upon change, right? It's one thing if it was just moving to a new location, but you have moving to a new location. You have a completely new language that you're trying to learn, and you have the challenge of trying to find meaningful work, right? All of those things are happening at once.
Yep.
My love, it is completely understandable that you are finding this so difficult and so frustrating. I would be in your exact same shoes if I were you. So
Thank you.
please
Yeah.
don't beat yourself up at all. If there's any voice in your mind that says you should be stronger than this or you should be handling this better, please know that voice isn't telling you the truth. One question for you, because it's something that really helps me regain my own sense of perspective and my own sense of strength when things are difficult in my life. Do you have a physical movement practice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I exercise every day.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So that's checked off. That's really, really good. Next level of questioning. Do you have any community around you? Have you made any friends outside of your husband that you feel really connected with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. I do.
You do?
I do have very good friends. Yeah.
Do you feel like you connect with them often enough where there's enough of that friend juice that happens that can sometimes lift you up over a difficult time?
Yeah, but it's like a different type of friendship. You know,
Tell me more.
I think my deepest friendships were from when I was younger.
Okay.
But they are very nice people and they're very supportive as well. So I don't think I can complain about that.
Okay, great. If it was possible, and you can let me know if this is possible, could you potentially focus on either learning the language for a little bit and give yourself a break on the job front, or vice versa?
Yeah, I think so. The thing is that I need to learn the language in order to be able to get a job,
Okay.
because that's how the market works.
Yes.
And I could take a break from looking for work,
Yes.
but I feel so frustrated just not being useful
Yes.
that I just, yeah, I can't. I feel like I can't.
How long have you not had work?
Since January.
Since
So I've been
January.
having like a little bit of work until June, and then I began working a little bit in August, but it's not my work. It's not what I've done before. You know what I mean. It's not. I identify myself a lot with the work that I do. So yeah, I feel like I have lost a part of me.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
It does. And I can relate to that because there's many of us, and I will say this straight up, it's not the healthiest place to operate from. And again, I say this as a person who has this in me as well, where we identify so much with our work that when that goes away, we feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know who I am anymore. That's not to say that you're doing anything wrong. It's just to say that for all of us, our work, it's not going to last forever. So one of the things to explore is to see if you can discover, and you'll have to approach this with a sense of curiosity and also a lot of self-compassion, is, are there ways for you to find delight in being useful that aren't through traditional work means? Whether it's around, calling up these dear friends that you've made, whether it's doing stuff in your immediate community, whatever it is that you can do, it may not be tied to any type of monetary pay, but the feeling of being needed and being useful, that's something that you can generate. Someone doesn't have to give you a job in order for you to contribute and to feel useful. And the reason that I asked if it was possible for you to lay off the job hunt for now is because our brains are not designed to process this much newness at once. And I think that's what's happening with your frustration. My gut tells me that if you gave yourself the grace and the space to focus on the language learning, and I know it's difficult, but if that was the thing that you're like, I'm going to immerse myself in this and make myself useful to me and to this country by learning this language and then being able to get a job, I think you're going to find the process is going to go faster. If I was trying to learn a new language, acclimate to a new culture, and find a job in that culture, I would be in a puddle on the floor. But if I gave myself a little bit of space to just say, hey, I need to get conversational in this language and really give it my best, if that's going to last another 3 months or 6 months or whatever it's going to take, my intuition tells me, and whether or not you agree with it or not is completely up to you, but I think you're going to find a little bit of the pressure eased and possibly find a path to more joy.
Yeah, that's a good advice. It could work.
Yeah. Another question for you. What do you do for fun?
I really like to cook and have people over.
Okay.
I like to,
hold on. I have to pause. Cooking and having people over your place to share a meal.
Yeah.
I need to let you know that does fall in the category of not only usefulness, but you said it falls in the category of joy and pleasure.
Yeah. I love that.
So we might need to reframe your mindset a little bit, that your paid work isn't the only methodology through which you can contribute and be useful. Just for right now. Possible.
Yeah.
What else do you like to do for joy and fun?
I really like to, I actually really like to learn languages. So that's something that I enjoy, but this process has been a little bit, I feel a lot of pressure about learning the language fast. So that makes it not so much fun. I like reading. I like exercising. I like hiking. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like all of the boxes are getting kind of ticked off for you, except around this language one. Can you release some of that pressure by taking off the time limit?
Yeah, maybe. So I think the problem is that I have so much uncertainty around this. I don't know when.
And what does that mean? Uncertainty around what?
Around when I'm gonna sort of settle, when it's gonna be a little bit more stable.
And what does stable mean to you?
Probably have a job.
See?
That's, yeah.
So much is tied to this. I really want to encourage you if you can, and again, it sounds like it's possible for you from a financial standpoint, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
And it is. This is definitely a mind trip for you as an individual. You have so much tied in to your identity with work that it's like inside you're scrambling. You're like, oh, if I don't have a job, I'm not useful. If I can't I got to get this job so fast. And all of that angst and stress is slowing down your language learning process. So it's the very thing that's keeping you from what you say you want.
Oh.
Can you
Thank
feel
Marie.
that?
That's yeah, I do. That's very helpful.
Yes. So if you can, and again, this is a little leap of faith for you because I have a sense that probably in the past you've learned other languages perhaps easier. This isn't going the way you thought it would go. Like there's all of these things that you didn't really plan on. So it is putting you into uncertainty, which for any of us throws us off balance. Your methodology is like, oh, I want to work harder and get this done. But all that frustration and negativity, as you can feel, is not doing you any good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let off the stress, take off the time, reinvest in the joy of learning this language. Don't worry about getting a job right now. You will find one. You're a very hard worker. I promise you, it will come down the line. But it's going to be so much more satisfying when this new language of yours starts to live and breathe in your cells in a way that really brings you to life.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for sharing. And we're sending you a huge hug and so much love.
Thank you so much, Marie.
Okay.
And
Bye, darling.
the whole team.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I have two little points to that.
Add.
I think that it sounds like she's taking more withdrawals than deposits from her soul bank. And so she hasn't found any joy to deposit into there, right? Mm-hmm. And part of like when I lived in Stockholm for a little bit, like everything is new. It tastes new. It smells new. You talk new. You sound new. And I think if she were to maybe share her culture with them, her cooking, her foods, her music that she loves, like the Norwegians would go crazy for it.
Yeah.
And that might give her a little joy in sharing her bit of homesickness that she sounds like she's feeling, just like continue to deposit into her soul bank. And it may one day just be like, well, okay, I'm feeling a little less homesick, you know?
I think those are great ideas. And I loved that she said how much she enjoys cooking and having friends over for meals.
Yeah.
And
while you're cooking, speak your language.
It's great. I love both of those things.
Hello, this is Mag.
Hi, this is Marie Forleo, and you're on the MarieTV Call-In Show.
Oh my gosh, Marie.
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing amazing. I cannot believe you're calling me and you sound exactly like in the videos.
I'm a real human. I'm real. Totally. Well, we're so excited you're here with myself and Gregory and all of Team Forleo. Tell us your question and we will do our best to provide some insight and guidance.
Awesome. Hi, Greg. Hi, team.
Well, hello, Lovey.
I love you, Greg. You're so adorable.
Oh, I'm blushing. I just got it.
Don't blush. Okay, so here's my question. So I created this community, global community of people around the world who travel and work remotely. And I first started with a Facebook group. And initially, that was a small group of people from around the world. And then it very quickly grew to this global platform with over 40,000 people from 121 countries in the world and employers posting remote jobs daily. But it wasn't until I shared my personal life story when almost overnight we're featured in Business Insider and Forbes. And I find that a lot of people are really inspired by my story. And I'm getting more requests to share it. But I worry because I don't want the story to become the center stage. Instead, I want the full focus on my dream and mission is to be on that community, building that global community of people around the world and empowering them regardless of their geographic location through remote work. So my question to you is, how do I balance sharing my story in order to attract attention to our community of Pangeans instead of me?
Yeah. So I have a couple of questions for you. One, what is really underneath that fear of your story becoming center stage? What are you concerned or afraid of?
First of all, I personally don't think that story is so interesting. So I'm always puzzled why others find it interesting. And second of all, I feel like there's so many more important stories to tell from our community and the power of very talented people in that community, that I feel like their stories and their mission and what they have to offer is so much more than just a little story of me. And I don't want that story to overshadow how amazing this community is.
Okay, great. So, a couple things. Are you able to tell us like just the 2 or 3 sentence version of your story? Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's already in Business Insider, so.
Yeah, but for our viewers, I don't want them to click away and go research it. So tell us right now so that I can help you get to an answer that you're going to love.
Sounds good. Okay, so I was born in Poland at the end of communism, and I remember since I was 5 years old, all I wanted is to travel the world and meet people from around the world. And very quickly, I was told by everybody around me that I will never be able to do it because it's communist, we don't have passports, nobody can travel. But I remember from that moment, I've always felt like a global citizen. I've always felt I will do it. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I just wanted to do it. And sure enough, soon after communist collapsed, and I found a way to come to US, learn English, graduated from college, got recruited by this big global aerospace company, started running global projects, managing remote teams. And since then, I travel over 50 countries and 6 continents. And now I wake up every day and just open my laptop, and every morning I chat with somebody from Hong Kong and Paris and London, and that's my life.
I love it. Okay, so
Sounds like
thank
a
you
great
so
life.
much. And here's the thing. So I'm going to say a few things to you, my friend, because again, you're asking for my opinion, and I'm going to give it to you because that's what I do. One, your story is so inspiring. And I think what you're doing is you've got kind of this false choice in your mind and in your heart. It's like either I tell my story or I center the stories of these other people. And you're thinking it's one or the other. Or like, I don't want to put too much of a shining on myself because it's going to take away from the folks that I'm really trying to get their stories out there. My friend, that is so not the truth. You have to get, first of all, your job as a business owner or as the leader of an organization is to evangelize. Your job is to get attention. Now, you want the attention on you because guess what? Every single time a Business Insider or a Forbes or an entrepreneur or a Fortune or whomever talks about your story, guess what? They're going to say she's the founder of X who does X. All of a sudden then you're getting all of these eyeballs on your people. So it is your job to be a storyteller. It is your job to recognize that while you don't think your story's that great, everyone in the studio is like, oh my goodness, we all got little goosebumps on our arms. Everyone wants that story. Traveling the world, being a global citizen, coming out of a place that was oppressed and now coming to a new place and making that dream come real, we need more of those stories. And I think the other piece that you're missing is that your story, I bet you, is super connected to your mission and to the folks who are within your organization, the stories that you want to tell for them, right? So now you work with all these remote workers and then you get to shine a light on them. So it's not either or. It's not like there's just one little spot on the mountaintop, and if you take all of the oxygen in the room, there's no room for anyone else. That's bullshit. Your story is important, and as a business owner, you have got to push it as much as possible. Let me ask you this. Think about the stories of, we'll just go to Apple because I'm looking at an Apple computer. We all know about Steve Jobs, the late, great Steve Jobs, whatever you think of him. But we knew about his story and them starting up that company. It became legend. And then what happens? More people learn about Apple, buy Apple products, become Apple evangelists. That's how it happens. So your story is one of the most powerful things that you have. You have to extract out of that beautiful, brilliant, empathetic mind of yours that you could possibly tell your story too much, or that by telling your story, you're taking away from your people. That is completely untrue.
Wow. I guess I guess I needed a wake-up call. I think I have
Literally.
Yeah, I mean, what you're building is so incredible. I believe it's part of the future of work. You know, Marie Forleo International. While we're here in the studio today, and I love these times and I treasure these times, the majority of our company, everyone works remotely, right? So there were 30 of us. Nobody would.
Yeah.
I had the vision for this company to be completely remote and virtual, and that's what we are. So what you're doing is incredible. You've got to keep going. I think you need to go the opposite direction. You got to get more people to tell your story. You got to leverage all that press that you've already received to get even more press. That's what's going to grow opportunity in terms of jobs and employers coming to your site. That's what's going to grow your mission. That's what's going to help you make the change that you are seeking to make in this world.
Wow. I'm just speechless. And I think you just really pushed me to that moment where I need to realize, what you said, it's your job to do that. This is not even an option. Like, that's my job as a leader of this community.
Yes, it is. It's your mission. It's your responsibility. It is the opportunity that you have to shift the culture in the way that you want to shift it. And for you to back away from that, you're not only doing yourself a disservice, you're doing a disservice to all of the people who have dreams just like you had one day. Again, I've said this so many times. This is my position on it. When you don't do everything possible to get your product or your service in front of the people who most need it, you are stealing from those who need you most. You are stealing a possibility from them that only you are here to give. It's why I say at the end of every single show, the world needs that special gift that only you have. And when it comes to marketing, when it comes to sharing, when it comes to expressing yourself, if you don't do everything possible to get it out in front of the people who you're meant to serve, you really are stealing from those who need you most.
All right, I got it.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for inspiring everyone, motivating. Honestly, I've been always inspired and motivated by your videos, and I shared it in our community, and people love you. But just hearing that from you straight, so direct, I completely get it. Not only get it logically, but for the first time, I have this energy of this is what I'm going to do.
Yes, Mama. Well, you keep us posted. We will be cheering you on. And thank you for doing the work that you do in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Marie.
Bye, darling.
Bye, team.
Bye. Well, friends, I think we done did that. That was awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Greg, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Woo! All right. So now here's my question for you. Did you have a favorite question or part of a question or insight that you're taking away from today's call-in show? If so, leave a comment below and let us know. As always, the best conversations happen over at the magical land of MarieForleo.com. So that's where I want you to go and leave a comment now. While you're there, if you're not already, please subscribe and become an MF Insider. I promise my emails, they're like the best in the nation. They're amazing. You're going to get instant access to an audio training I created called How to Get Anything You Want. And you'll get some exclusive content and some little personal updates from me that I just don't share anywhere else. So stay on your game and keep going for your dreams because the world really does need that special gift that only you have. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on MarieTV. B-School is coming up. Want in? For more info and free training, go to joinbschool.com. I'm gonna open it up. Open it up. Open your butt. Oh. Thanks.
That sounds like a treat.
That was intense.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message.
Anybody got a question?
Question. I got plenty of answers.
The person whom you're trying to reach